How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another trip. This time I'm staging out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, and in a little bit I'm going to be heading down to the Ozark Highlands Trail. I'm going to be doing a planned for 4 days out and back on the first section over on the far west side of the trail. Let's take a quick look at gut hooks and see what that looks like. Here's what the Ozark Highlands Trail looks like on gut hooks. It's about 165 miles running east-west in the northwest part of Arkansas. I'm approximately up here somewhere. I think this is Fayetteville. I'm going to be driving down south over to the western part of the trailhead, and then this is the first section that I'm going to be doing. Planning on doing it in about a 4-day trip, just doing like 7 to 10 miles a day. There's a visitor center over here, and there's no campsites here marked for this huge section, but I know I've been here once before a couple of years ago, and there's a good campsites about every 2 miles or so. And I remember one being about 7 or so miles in, which would put it somewhere in this area. So I think that's where I'm going to aim for tonight for day 1. And then day 2, I'm going to hike all the rest of this. And this shows a campsite down here, so I'm going to aim for this one. And this is almost at 17 miles in. And this is just below where this white rock, there's a little camping wreck area right here. So I'm going to stay there for the second night. Day 3, I'm going to probably hike a little bit further up and go see the sunrise up on White Rock itself. And then hike back to the same campsite. I'm going to stay for night 1, which is somewhere around here, around mile 7 or so. And then day 4, I'll hike the rest of the way out. That's the overall plan. And here I am at the trailhead. I just checked in with the visitor center. Just wanted to make sure, there's no park passes or permits or anything. They registered in their little logbook there at the visitor center. They just want to keep track of everybody and what their plans are for safety. And we'll have a little bit of an overview look into Lake Fort Smith. We'll see what that looks like, and then we're starting the trail here. This looks like a really nice park and rec area. I don't think water's going to be a problem on most of the trail. There should be these little stream crossing parts or little parts where water's just kind of going down the trail. It's not super dry and it's not super wet either. I think on day 3 or so, or the night of day 2 into day 3, there's forecast to be some scattered thunderstorms, so we might have some rain into this trip. That'll be fun. But so far the trail's looking pretty good. Just a little bit of roots and rockiness. Weather's pretty nice. I think it's going to be up to like 75, but right now it doesn't feel much warmer than like 60, 65 degrees. It's pretty nice. I was just thinking about how spring is definitely in the air with the leaves on the trees are starting to come out. There's some cool colors of whatever kind of tree this is. Ruins of some kind of structure here just right along the trail. All that's left is a chimney. I can't remember what this is though. I'm sure the visitor center knows what used to be here, whether it was a small house or a forge for something, I don't know. There's actually some words on the bricks. St. Louis, that must be the company where the bricks came from. And here's an old spring. Looks like this was kind of built probably around the same time as whatever that chimney structure building was. There's another chimney here along the side. This is Frog Bayou. This will be the biggest crossing of the whole trip, I think. We'll have to tackle a couple of hikers here doing it too. Well, that was loads of fun. Just got across pretty easy. It was definitely way worse last time I remember. I think it was like July when I came out here last. And it was really deep and mostly treacherous, and I probably shouldn't have crossed it. But it was way better this time around. And I think we're only like 3 miles in. So we got a good chunk of what I'm going to plan on doing today knocked out. I'll just keep pressing down trail. So far, for the first couple miles, there's been a lot of water sources on this trail, which has been really nice. I think it will resume for the rest of the first day that I'm planning on doing, and then on day 2, I think there's going to be a lot less water availability, from what I can tell. We'll see though. Still some boats on the water, people out fishing still, enjoying the day. And a beautiful day it is. I think I'm about 5 miles in. There's a really nice campsite here, right along the creek on the other side. Let's go take a look real quick. The water's just really salty. That's how I remember it. For my food on this trail, I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm gonna see if this works pretty well or not, but I'm gonna just mainly skipping breakfast and lunch in the traditional sense and just snacking all day on like granola bars and meat and cheese sticks and stuff. And then only doing a cooked meal for dinner. So we'll see how that works. So far so good, I guess. It is definitely hot out here, and I'm definitely sucking down the water, but at least it's heavily available. Just taking a break, getting a snack, getting some water, enjoying the view. It's a awesome little spot where I'm at, just in this little wash. There's some super loud insects chirping. I'm guessing it's a cicada. I haven't seen any yet though. I think I'm coming up on the little campsite that I stayed at last time. This is about the furthest in I made it the last time I was out here a couple years ago. I'll double check the mileage. That's a nice little site. There's room to set up some tents. Hang a hammock if you got it. Cool, I think I'll unpack and start getting set up. There's my tent all set up. Let's see if I can do this kind of awkwardly one-handed or something, but let's take a look at gut hooks and see where we're at. There we go. Zoom in here. My location, we are at mile 7.7. And then the nearest water that I just passed was right where this big hairpin turn is at, which was like at mile 7.4. And that's the closest water source. So for tomorrow, there's no water sources marked on here, and it's kind of hard to tell where one potentially might be, but worst case scenario, there's no water between here and my next campsite, which is 9.3 miles ahead. And I guess worst case scenario would be I continue up to the little camping site on top of White Rock and then see if they've got like a water spigot or something up there I can get water from. And tonight's meal is mashed potatoes and salmon. Those are so good. I can hear a creature crawling around my camp, and he's close. I can't tell what it is though. I'm trying to scare him off. Of course, it could be a skunk. That might be the worst case scenario. He's making a lot of noise rustling in the tree leaves, whatever he is. Hopefully he buggers off. Morning. I slept pretty well last night, all things considered, I think. Just from the animal noise and some critter crawling through my camp. I think it was a raccoon, if I had to guess. Couldn't tell exactly, though. Never actually saw it. But it was nice. It didn't get too cold at all. Maybe in the 50s or something, but it was nice. I think tomorrow we might have some rain. I was doing some thinking about where I might camp, and I think I'm just going to push up and check out the main campgrounds area first. And I got some cash with me, so if there's like tent pads available up there, I may end up just camping up on top of there for tonight. Potentially riding out a storm or something up on top of the cliff. But I'm going to grab some breakfast bars and start packing up camp. I'm not in too much of a rush, I think. I got like 10 miles or so to do today. And it's only like 8 o'clock. And the sun is up, but it hasn't come over the tops of the hills yet. Alright, I'm all packed up. I'm gonna head out. Excuse me. I think it's like 8:30, so it's still kind of on the early side. I've only got like 10 miles to go, I think, till the campsite, so I'm just gonna go nice and slow. And I think in about 2 point something miles is Hurricane Creek crossing, which can be a little deep, but Frog Bayou yesterday wasn't that bad, so I don't think Hurricane Creek's gonna be too bad. Might even be dry enough to get across it without needing to get wet at all, but we'll see that when we get there in a little bit. Got the first uphill of the whole trip so far. Just a nice, steady, constant up. Not too bad. Might have some views here at some point. And it is so beautiful out here right now. It's warm, but it's not hot. The sun is up. Clear blue skies. It's a light breeze through the trees. It's a nice, easy trail. Soft bird calls. This is like the very definition of a perfect day. I love it out here. Just love it. Coming over the other side of the ridge now, it looks like. It's another trailhead junction. A little sign-in box, maybe. Oh, this is a much better trail map. Let's see. You are here. So yeah, we just crossed a dirt road. I didn't film that, but that's Doherty's Gap, it looks like. And then Hurricane Creek, mile 10. That might be the last water source. Rattlesnake Falls is an off trail for that. There might be something up in here, maybe. We'll see. Looks like White Rock itself is further off this map. Here's Hurricane Creek at mile 10. I think I'm definitely going to be changing into my shoes, water shoes, for this one. Well, maybe I can hop across down there. I think if we get weather tomorrow, which we probably will, tonight into tomorrow, this will probably be a lot higher as far as the water level. That doesn't look bad for now, though. A little bit of a steep drop off on this part of the trail. There's some cool broken up rocky scenery down there. Kind of at a point where this is up a little ridge area, so I got a little bit of views between the trees, but not much yet. I think there's a really nice view coming up like in another mile or less. Uphills aren't bad, they're just uphill. Weather feels nice though. The sun's not out right now, so it's not like a really intense heat at all. It's just nice and cool, really nice cool breeze cutting through, so it keeps you from getting over exhausted or anything. I feel like this area is the most open I've been able to see through the woods a little bit. Gives it a different kind of feel for sure. I really like this area up here that you can just kind of see through the woods more. Definitely. I wish there was like deer running through or something. Get a good look at it. Just feels more open. I like it. Here's the mile marker 13 overlook. I think I'm going to sit here and chill for a bit. And then we'll double check our mileage and progress and time and all that stuff. But yeah, this is going to be a nice spot to just sit and chill, eat some snacks. Nice view of the Ozark Highlands area. Just taking a look at the map here. Here's where we're at. Mile 13 with a nice view. And let's see, split off for the White Rock area is about, what does it say, about 4.5 miles. And then a hike up a little bit, so just under 5 miles or so to get to the campground. So we'll check and see if there's a campsite. I might be staying there tonight. Every once in a while I get these random hints of color. It's so cool to see out here. I don't know what type of tree that is, but it's got some kind of springtime bloom purple color going on. Then you also get these random patches of flowers. Passed a sign that said they were doing a controlled burn in this area, and they just finished up 2 weeks ago. So most of this part is probably going to look like this. It's a little charred in places. I found a water source out here. There's at least one stream crossing the trail. I think I'm just shy of mile marker 14. Just for reference. Hopefully there's more of these down the ways. This is the spooky part of the forest. This trail scenery just keeps slowly changing more and more. And it looks extra weird with the being all kind of burned out the way it is. It's gotten very rocky. Here's another burn notice for the next area. This one goes from April to May, so that is the right now time frame. 1,500 acres. Let's see what that looks like. Doesn't smell like they're burning anything today, though. This reminds me of cherry blossoms in Japan. Here's a nice water source. I'm just past the 16-mile mark, probably 16.1 or 16.2. Oh, probably pretty reliable, I would think. I think I'm going to fill up here. This trail's like a beautiful green carpet of moss. There's a junction. I'm definitely going left. White Rock is 1 mile. I think that means 1 mile. Or does that signify white blazes? Whatever, I'm close anyway. I think this is a little campsite at mile 16.9 or so. Just a small little place. Worst case scenario, if I can't stay up at the campgrounds for some reason, I'll come back and camp here. It'll be the backup plan. But for now, we'll go up. I think the White Rock itself is up there through the trees a little bit. It should be. And here's the split off up to White Rock itself, departing from the Ozark Highland Trail. Up that way, I think. It looks like camping options here as well. Cool. Made it to the top. Looks like these are some of the cabins you can rent. They look pretty nice with definite cool overlook views. I'll go see if I can find some place to check in, maybe see if I can get a tent pad somewhere. Alright, I got checked in for a tent site that was $15 for one night. So that sounds like about average, I think. And I'm gonna go find my spot. And they got a little shop inside there where you can get some sodas, and you can even get like a pizza baked up and stuff. So I may do dinner with that. I'll see if I can film a little bit inside there just to kind of show you what it looks like, but it is starting to sprinkle rain right now. I don't think the rain was supposed to come in until closer to like midnight or something, but I gotta get set up pretty quick here. Well, I got my tent up. It's just intermittently sprinkling. The tent pads are kind of gravelly, but right underneath the gravel layer, it's only about an inch thick or so. You can get into the hard dirt, so pitching a tent isn't too bad. There's a little shot of what the campground looked like. I think there was like 8 tent pad sites, and there's a restrooms right up there. I'm gonna go back towards this store, check in office thing, and get some snacks. I think they had ice cream up there too. Here's a sampling of some of the snacks I got at the little convenience store thing. Even got a Choco Taco for dessert, and they warmed up the little wrap for me, so that's nice. They got some picnic table areas right on the cliffside. I'll have this as my view for dinner tonight. Hopefully it doesn't start raining again. It just kind of sprinkled for a little bit, but then stopped. It'd be nice if it just stays like this. Apparently we're still getting the weather later tonight, though, I think. Just checking out the overlook a little bit. I'll wander over there next. It looks like probably some steep drop-offs. On second thought, this is maybe the closest I'll wander over to those cliffs. Looks a little steep. So I've got cell service out there. So this is the nearest town that it's receiving weather from. This is the forecast. About 3 in the morning, we start getting thunderstorms, 60% chance after sunrise, more chance of storms. So walking back tomorrow is going to be all rain and thunderstorms. Then it starts to fizzle off by about 2, maybe get some sun about 3 or so. So I think I'm going to aim to get into tomorrow's camp sometime after 3, so I don't have to set up a tent in the rain at least. Tomorrow's going to be fun one way or another. Morning. I think we got pretty lucky with the rain. It only just started raining like at 7 o'clock when the sun came up or so, and it's only been raining for like 45 minutes, and it's supposed to stop here pretty soon. We might have a break in the weather for at least an hour. So as soon as the rain stops, I'm going to start packing up and probably head out. Right now I'm just kind of weighing it out a little bit. Hopefully in the next 10 minutes or so. We'll see. I'm all packed up, ready to head out. Just taking one last view at the overlook. The weather forecast is still showing kind of scattered thunderstorms throughout the day, so it might kind of be like this. Just intermittent rain showers would be nice. but I'm ready. I'm ready for a full day of getting wet. And I'm back on the OHT. Last night it was very windy all night, but right now, since the sun came up, it sprinkled rain just a little bit, and then it's been nothing. I'm probably jinxing it because it's supposed to still downpour, but it's perfect right now. It's nice and cool. It's not raining. It's not windy. It's nice and quiet. I think I'm back at the 13-mile overlook, and it still hasn't rained on me yet. So I don't know if it's ever going to, which would be awesome. Because eventually this is supposed to be totally clear and sunny. The weather is just fine right now. Well, it rained. I think about 10 minutes after I left the overlook, it started raining for about an hour or so. And right now it's more or less stopped. I think it's just mostly dripping off the trees. Hopefully this is about it. It's gotten a little bit brighter, like the sun wants to come out. I'll keep you updated. Okay, I'm currently at mile 10. I'm at Hurricane Creek. I'm about to cross it. And there's a nice little campsite here, by the way, which I don't think I mentioned before. But yeah, so far the rain's still kind of intermittent off and on. I'm trying to keep my camera protected as much as I can, but I'll probably just trudge right through the creek crossing. I'll film that as I can here in a second. Yeah, water levels look pretty much the same as what it was when I came over the first time. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through it in my shoes. Hiked up my pants a little bit. And I'll just get this done real quick. There we go. Well, I'm up at Dockery's Gap. That was quite a bit of an uphill climb coming from Hurricane Creek. I can hear a distant thunder. And it's starting to rain again, so I think I'm going to put my camera away and get my coat back on. And I made it back to camp. I just wanted to get my tent set up really quick. And I got to start setting everything out to dry out a little bit. And the sun was just poking through the clouds just a second ago. So just like clockwork, I think we're going to have a clear sunny afternoon. Clouds should clear away here pretty quick. But I'm going to keep unpacking stuff and just sit out in the sun, let my feet dry out. And we'll check back in here in a little bit. And for dessert, I've got apple pie Lara bar. These are so good. Well, I'm now done with dinner. I got everything put away. I'm ready for bed. Just watching the sunset for a little bit longer, and I think I'm just gonna sign off here for the night, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Morning. Yeah, it got chilly last night. It's cold right now. As soon as the sun comes up, it should be a nice warm day though. But I think I'm gonna sleep in for a little bit longer. Got like 7.7 miles to do, and then I gotta give myself time so when I get back to Fayetteville, I can check into a hotel later in this afternoon, so I don't need to be too early. I'll get moving here shortly. Alright, I'm all packed up. I'm ready to rock. It's still kind of chilly out, so I've got my jacket on. Probably take that off shortly as it starts warming up. Probably warm up pretty quick here. Well, let's get to it. Back at the campsite at the 5-mile mark. I think I'm gonna stop here for a bit and eat some snacks. This would be a good location if like you started the trail from the far west side and it was already kind of late afternoon. You just come in 5 miles and stay here. Back at Frog Bayou. Looks like nobody up here this time. I think from here it's about 3 miles or so left to the visitor center. Ready to go. Water's a little cold, but feels good on your feet because it is definitely warm outside. Not too deep right now either. It's only like 1.5 feet or so, maybe at the deepest. All right. Here's the old spring head. And here we are. I'm coming right off the end of this thing. I figure it was about a 17.5 mile or so going out, and then 17.5 coming back, so we'll say it's an even 35 for a 4-day round trip. That was loads of fun. The weather's been great the whole time, even in the rain. It wasn't that bad at all. Only rained for a couple hours, just light rain. I'm loving Arkansas hiking. Definitely holds a place in my heart. Just getting up to the overlook of the lake. And there we go. Well, I think one way or the other, this is going to be my last sort of practice hike, as it were, before starting the Appalachian Trail, because that's going to be my next adventure. With any luck, within 1 to 2 weeks at most, I'll be hitting the trail. Videos from there might be delayed a little bit, so it might not be until like May before any of the first Appalachian Trail videos start coming out, but they're coming. So stay tuned for those. But thanks for watching, thanks for joining, and you'll see you guys next time.